Hey readers, welcome back to the club. I'm one of your hosts, Ashlyn Clark. I'm here with my bestie girl, Katie Hoyt, in her brand new home.
Finally.
We are so excited to be doing video once again. And what did we did it? We did it one other time.
Yeah, really.
Well, we've tried a couple other times, but we're so happy to be back on the club and just talking our shit. Katie, how are you doing? What's the 411 on everything?
Oh man, just so happy to be in a home that belongs to me. I meant to tell you this earlier today, but every morning when I get up, Tiber comes over to the bathroom door. Like I shut the door because I get up before Hoy, and so it's bright if I don't shut the door. And the last few mornings, Tiber comes over and lays right in front of the door, and he hits the door, and it kind of bumps it open, which startles me because I'm used to living in a home with people who are not my husband. I'm used to living with my in-laws or my parents, so I get startled every morning, oh no, somebody's about to walk in on me. So, yeah,
Just adjusting to the
it's been fantastic to have our own space again,
I bet.
get to hang out. Now, granted, we haven't really done much hanging out because we've been doing shit around the house.
And it looks phenomenal in here. I
Thank
came
you.
the second day y'all had lived here, and it looks like a different place. Everything is in here.
Yeah.
Kinda, I mean, at least this floor is all set up.
Yeah, it's
This floor
this floor is set up. So I don't know if you smelled when you walked in, but the downstairs smells like rubber because we put the gym flooring in.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So yeah, we've just been getting after it, and
I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm lit about the gym. I cannot wait to utilize that space.
mhm.
I do want to talk about how we spent so much time discussing and obsessing over December 22nd of 2023
Right.
for it to literally not mean one thing to either of us.
Yeah, who's that?
What was that for? That was your original closing date. Y'all closed on January 9th,
Yep.
so they've been here for, almost a week.
Yes,
Over a week.
a week
A week
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. December 22nd for me was supposed to be my due date, or it was my due date, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And I say allegedly because I was measuring a week late the whole time. Not late, but a week small the whole time.
Yeah.
And I remember whenever I first went to the appointment, I told them my last menstrual period date, and they got the ultrasound. They compared; it was 5 days off.
Okay.
So really, it could have been 5 days difference.
Yeah.
But I ended up staying pregnant until December 28th. So it's 40 weeks and 6 days.
Yes.
When I gave birth to a little baby girl,
Hey.
Susanna Moore Gober. She's
Yes.
perfect.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah.
You couldn't literally every single photo I see of her, if it's not been sent directly to my phone, I screenshot it. I say, but I'll go back and just look at photos of her. I love her so much. I was looking at the one that you sent of her propped up in her little
Poppy pillow.
Yeah.
So that's my pillow. It goes around me when I breastfeed, but I just like to sit her up in it. And sometimes she's so she's 3 weeks old yesterday. And she has gotten so much more awake.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed whenever you were over here, because she was kind of asleep most of the time, but when she's awake versus when she's asleep, she looks so different. All of the pictures of her asleep, her face is squish. We call her squishy. Her face is squished, and she has huge cheeks.
Yeah.
And huge double chin. But when she wakes up, it's I don't know, she looks really different.
I completely agree. When she must have, to me, Jake's eyes, because when she opens her eyes, she looks more like him.
No.
But she looks just like you when she is asleep.
I know. That is so crazy because I was actually one of those people. I love Jake's genes. So for y'all who don't know my husband, he has a sister that looks identical to him,
Yeah.
but a female version, and she's stunning.
Yeah.
The prototype. And I was if I have a girl, I need her to look just like Riley because she's perfect. And so I was prepared. I was I'm going to give birth, and it's going to come out looking just like Jake. It's going to have his black hair, and it's going to look just like him. And I gave birth to myself.
Yes.
The way that was so shocking.
No, like, I swear, what is it about every baby that looks like the dad?
I
Like,
know.
the mom does all this work, suffers, goes through hell for 10 months, dead. Like,
I don't
what
know.
is it? And, like, you got your money's
I
worth
know.
out of this one.
I know, like, so whenever she first came out, obviously they're, like, really puffy
Mhm.
and bald. She's not super bald, but, like,
Yeah.
whatever, and then we had the little hat on her, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's just like Jake," and I was like, "You guys are just saying that because that's what you wanna see, like, I promise she looks just like my baby pictures, like,
Mhm.
just like them."
I noticed even from the beginning, like, from the very first FaceTime, this the upper
The
lip
mouth.
is you.
I
Like,
know.
I can't describe it. This is you. The nose, you can't really tell, like
No, and pray to God it's Jake's. Pray to God on her behalf, like, she deserves Jake's nose.
but the eyes, every time she opens her eyes, she looks more like Jake, and I can't explain it beyond that,
I
like
know, it's weird, it's really weird. I took a video of her yesterday when she was, like, just sitting up beside me,
Mhm.
and it looked so much like him, it was hilarious, but I don't know, she's so funny.
I love
I love
her.
just, like, staring at her all day. She's currently with Jake, and then Jake's mom is at the house, like, just chilling with them,
Mm,
so I didn't wanna be guilty and, like, leave him by himself. Not that he gives a shit, he really doesn't care to take care
yeah,
of her. He's like, "Whatever."
yeah.
But anyways, I did invite his mother over to, like, hang out, so now he's gonna get to go to the gym, and we'll just kinda,
Ooh.
like she'll just have, like, a little day with her grandmother. I love
Yeah.
it. But, yeah, she's been super easy, which I feel like is the first baby fake out, like, you think, "You
Right.
can do this I can do this 2 more times,"
Right.
and then you have your second one, and they, like, wreak havoc on your entire world.
Yeah, 100%.
So, anyways, it'll be a long time coming before we do that. I was
Yeah,
just reminiscing on everyone telling me that, like, don't get excited about how easy this is right now because, first of all, you only have one. I feel like whenever you
right.
have a baby and you bring it home to, say, a toddler,
Uh-huh.
your energy is just not all spent on the baby.
100%. Like, I feel like you have all the time in the world to just spend with her. You don't have anything else going on. It's just chill, but, like, when you've got a little demon running around
Uh-huh.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and, it's also, like, I need Jake's help so much right now, and if he was
Mhm.
running around chasing another child,
Yeah.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would lose my mind.
100%. Do you feel like, you're doing good, like, managing everything by yourself, or do you feel like
No. Wait, no, not at all. I did cut you off before I even asked you, like, what all do you mean, but I think the answer is no. You mean, like, breastfeeding, like,
yeah,
doing everything?
like, do you feel like if it was just you at the house, like, by yourself all day, you'd be 100% good, like, you don't need the extra set of hands, or do you feel like you need Jake to be there?
I think it depends on the day. Sometimes she's, like, a
Okay.
great napper, and, like, she'll
Mhm.
nap twice a day, and you can get shit done. I'm
Yeah.
not the the mother that's like, "Oh, she's napping, let me chill."
Yeah.
Like, the sleep when the baby sleeps thing is not really for me. I need to get the
Mhm.
laundry done, I need to, like, take care of the house.
Yeah.
So, if she sleeps well, I can handle it.
Mhm.
But when there was been a couple days already where she's just been, like, kind of awake all day, and it's not like
Right.
she necessarily needs anything, but when she's awake, I feel like I need to take advantage of the time with her,
Yes, 100%.
keep her engaged, and if that's for 3 hours straight, when do I eat? When do so
Right.
I have to, like it's different, it's harder to manage whenever she's so awake,
Yeah.
but I think I could handle a day. I think I could handle 1 day alone,
Okay.
but I don't think I would enjoy multiple days. I don't even know that I would enjoy that whole day.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. From my experience with her, which was basically just when y'all came over last weekend, seemed like a breeze. She really, like, was so good. She just slept and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate.
Let me tell you, so we took her to the doctor yesterday for did I text you this? For her
Mm-mm.
checkup. So, okay. So Susanna was born, she was 7 pounds, 12 ounces, and then whenever we left the hospital, she was 7 pounds, 6 ounces, which is
Okay.
they lose weight, it's normal.
Yeah.
Go back for her, like, like 2 days or 3 days after that, and she's 7 pounds 9 ounces. They're like, "Great job, she's gaining weight." We take her to her 3-week appointment yesterday, which is exactly 2 weeks from her last appointment,
Okay.
9 pounds 4.5 ounces.
Damn, girl.
So, the eating thing, she will put it away.
Mhm.
It's making me like, breastfeeding has made me starve
Oh, I bet.
so much. Um, it's been really interesting, but yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Whenever she is sleeping well, honestly, whenever she's awake, if I have people around, it's easy because we can all entertain her, but if
Yeah.
it's just me and I have to hold her or, like, even like, you can sit her down, but, like, you need to, like, still watch her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just she's really not that hard, but I had a tough day whenever I was here with you because her umbilical cord started bleeding, and it freaked me the fuck out, like, I had to change her clothes, and then, like, she shit all in the other clothes that she had 2 outfit changes while she was here. We were here for 3 hours,
Yeah.
and she had 2 outfit changes.
Bless her.
Um, what else? That was it. That was really it. Just, like, the outfit
Mhm.
change and then her thing bleeding, and she was, like, really upset about it.
Yeah.
But it's off now, so I can, like,
Oh,
quit
okay.
worrying about it. I hated
Okay.
that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it just
It's gross and, like,
yeah, yes,
freaky.
which we've talked about, like, I'm really not a belly button kinda girl, but, like, that, like, a fresh
I know. Well,
no.
then whenever we were here, we put the Band-Aid over it, and
Mhm.
it was, like, waterproof and all that stuff. So I, like, hesitated to even take it off of her because I was like, "This is gonna rip her fucking skin off."
Yeah.
But Jake just pulled it off one day, and he said it didn't bother her, but
Okay,
we gave
good.
it 2 days, like, it was on her for 2 days because I was like, "I'm not pulling a fresh Band-Aid off of her newborn skin."
Yes.
It was
Oh.
so stressful. I'm a maniac.
I think that's normal.
Postpartum anxiety
But
is
it's like
on
she's so
100.
oh, I'm
She's, like, very
sorry.
fragile.
Yeah, she's fresh, like, she's literally brand new. Um, I can't believe how, like, small she still is. I know that
I
she's
know, but I feel like she is big,
yeah.
like, but still.
Every time I see a newborn baby, I'm shocked at how small
It's
they
'cause
are.
it's like I get they had to be small 'cause she was in me, 'cause I still look at her, I'm like, "How the fuck were you in me?"
Mhm.
But it's a human? It's
Yeah.
like, how are all of your systems
It
functioning?
no, literally. Oh my god, you know what else I wanna talk about? Is her bow that she had on. Speaking of babies inside, so I was like, "Oh, Ash," because, like, if you don't know, Ashlyn and Jake, they did not find out the gender until she was born, and so
Right.
there wasn't, like, much buying girl clothes, boy clothes, nothing like that, so when Ashlyn came over, I was like, "Oh, I love the bows," she'd been putting her in bows, and Ashlyn was like, "Yeah."
Okay, I wanna also preface, we came home, we had no bows at
Yeah.
all, so she was just, like, bald-headed, looking like a boy,
Mhm.
whatever, so my southern ass was like, "Let me get on here and order some bows."
100%.
So we ordered these, like, ones from Amazon that had really good reviews, and they're like, they're almost like pantyhose material, super stretchy,
Mhm.
um, and they were super cute because we had another pack that were just, like, way too big, they wouldn't stay on her head. So I ordered that pack, and then I ordered one other one that, like, was, like, the bamboo baby material. Like,
Mhm.
that's the one that she had on when she
Yes.
was here because it was the one that had been fitting the best.
Okay, yes, and she looked precious in it. If you, like, felt it, you would not think, like, "This is
It
squeezing
was
her
so
head."
soft.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
nothing, and Ashlyn was like, "I have some that, like, I put on her head, and it was like she had a big mark."
Okay, yeah, so the Amazon ones, I'm not kidding, I have 30. Like, they came in a huge pack, every color. I was like, "Perfect." And they, stayed on her head, but then when I took them off, they would have, like, a red mark
Mhm.
across her forehead. So I was like, "Well, I need to stop wearing these so much. I don't wanna, like, mess with her." Like,
Yeah.
she has a soft spot.
Right, right.
So so I put her in this white one that's a little bit bigger and has been fitting great to come over to Katie's house.
And Ashlyn's like, "Those other ones were too small, but this one fits great." I swear to God, Ashlyn, like, lifts the bow off her head. So gaping dent on the top of Susannah's head. And Ashley's like, "Oh." She was like, "Maybe we should take that off."
It was so deep. Like, that bow must have been, like, right on her soft spot, and,
Yes,
like, it could have been touching her fucking brain. Like, it was
literally.
so deep. It reminded me of, like, the hole that the golf ball goes in golf, like, literally, like, straight like, it was the perfect indentation of that
Yeah,
bow.
yes. 100%. Ashley, like, takes it off, she, like, smooths it over with her finger, and she's
Like,
like
"Shush, shush, shush, shush."
but by the time y'all left, it was smooth
Yeah,
again,
I mean, it went
so
away, but I was like, did I fuck her up?" Yeah, so, she hasn't been wearing I have not put her in a bow since then. That was traumatic. We have these, like, little hats that have bows on the front that are so cute,
Yeah.
but they're too big, and so I had one on her. Jake put her in one this morning, and I came in there, and she had her, like, rolled in her nap, and it was just,
Mhm.
like, totally covering her eyes. It
Oh
was
gosh,
so
bless
cute.
her.
It was so cute, but, yeah, she's taking a break from bows.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
one black one that's actually a little bit bigger than both of those that I'm gonna try tomorrow. We have,
Okay.
not to bring this up, but it's Katie's 30th birthday year,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone related, so we have a dirty 30, the first one tomorrow of Jake's friend group. So it's Susannah's first, big day out.
Mhm. Yeah, she going to the brewery.
She's going to the brewery, and we'll see. I'm driving separate because just in case shit hits the fan.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think she'll do fine.
She will.
She'll do fine.
She's an angel,
Yeah.
so and another thing that I wanna talk about is I'm so not shocked, but impressed. You are the best mom. Like,
What?
literally, the day that I came to see you in the hospital and the girl was doing the hearing test, that's what it was, and she was like, "Just put her, like, on the boob so I can check this
She's
out,
already on the boob,
whatever."
and I said, "Do I need to take her off?"
The way you were handling her, just like a pro. Like, this child had been born not 24 hours before. Like a pro, like, on the boob, like, "Oh, let me flip her real quick," and just, like, back so she could get to the other ear. That you were asking all these questions because also while I was there, the lactation consultant came in.
Right.
You were asking all those questions. I haven't heard you say one, like, crazy thing about breastfeeding or about getting sleep or anything. I just feel like you're, like, nailing it, every
Oh
single
my
thing.
god, thank
Like, I
you.
genuinely feel that way. Like, I feel like you if someone was to tell me if I didn't know you, if someone was to tell me that you were a first-time mom, I would be like, "No way." Like,
I will go ahead and just say that a lot of it came naturally. I don't know why or
yeah,
how, but it just I'm sure whenever you have your own kid, it's just like you just know
yeah,
kinda what to do,
yeah.
but you also, like, know what you don't know. Like, whenever she comes out and you're like, "Oh, fuck." Like, I have to ask these specific questions because these are what's running through my mind.
Right.
But yeah, the hospital was like a whole experience, and the sleep thing, Jake has been such a big help. We do shifts, so he
Mhm.
does I
Yes.
usually go to sleep at, like, 7:30 or 8. Actually, this week's been more like 9, and I will sleep until, like, 1 or 2,
Mhm.
and then I'll take over, and that's, like, a really good amount of sleep, but then she's like, as soon as I feed her at 2 or 3, because usually at 1, I'll just pump and she's already still asleep.
Yeah.
I'll go back to bed, and she usually doesn't wake up again until, like, 5. She's like a big
Ugh.
5 AM-er, like 5:20 to 5:40, she's up,
Mhm.
and then, she'll, like, kind of nap again until, like, 7:30.
Yeah.
So, really, I'm getting, like, 7, 8 hours of sleep, and then at 8, Jake gets up, he's doing work stuff, I'll just
Mhm.
take her in there, and I'll go back to sleep until, like, 11.
Oh my
So, I'm getting
gosh.
a ton of sleep.
Yeah, no, literally, like, I honestly feel like you're getting more sleep now with a newborn than you were when
In
you were
residency?
yes,
Yes.
literally, because your shifts were so ass, like, you would literally
Yeah,
get home at what time? 8?
and have to be there at 6, yeah.
It was so brutal.
It's that's what I'm really worried about is going back to work and having to do that with
Mm,
her because it's gonna be a whole different ballgame.
yeah.
Um, and because of my maternity leave, I'll go back I'll go back February 26th-ish, but March, April are both those months like that.
Oh my
And
god.
then May, I have, like, a clinic month that'll be easy, and then June, again, is, like, one of those really hard months because they had to kinda slam them in there since I'm
Yeah,
off for
yeah,
8 weeks, which is not their fault, but
yeah,
it's not gonna be
yeah.
a good time. It's not gonna be an easy time.
Yeah, hopefully okay, so that'll be what is it they say, the 4-month sleep regression, so that'll be,
Right.
what, April?
Mhm.
April, May? Good luck. I mean, honestly, I feel like she's doing amazing so
Yeah, that's what I'm
far.
saying. I don't know how long it's gonna
Mhm.
last.
And I know people say all the time, like, "Oh, I'm so lucky, like, my baby just sleeps," and it's like, as soon as the mom says that, the
Mhm.
baby stops sleeping. So, we're just gonna pray, like,
Yeah,
y'all just keep
we
doing what
have to.
you're doing,
We have to.
and
We have, a quite different approach to parenting, I think, than a lot of people that are our age.
Mhm.
We're like, well, this is one thing, I healed and recovered really well from having the
Yes.
baby. Like, the day we got home, we went on a walk, and I've been pretty good
Yeah.
since then. Um, didn't have to take pain meds or anything like that. So,
Mhm.
I got lucky in that regard, but we're like, we need to take her everywhere that we wanna go so that she can kinda get in the swing of, like,
Yeah.
napping whenever she wants to nap, and then we also when she takes naps, we put her down in her bassinet,
Yeah.
and we leave the bassinet in our living room, and we do all of our normal shit.
Yeah.
So, like, we had literally a New Year's Eve party the night that she came home, the second
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
She never woke up, everyone's screaming, and then this past weekend, she's already 2 weeks old, she's sleeping, we're all yelling, playing board games, like,
Yes.
she doesn't care.
That is so great. Even when she was here, like, Tiber would bark, she would not even flinch,
No.
like,
You can vacuum beside her whenever she's napping, she does not give a shit. So I think that has
wow.
helped us in the long run, like, not she can be independent, right? She's a newborn, but,
Right.
like, just making it to where our life she's integrated as much as
Yeah.
we can,
Yeah.
has been it was hard the first week, like, just,
Yeah.
like, putting her down and
Yeah.
feeling bad about it, that part's hard, but and, like, not letting her sleep in the bed with us at night and all
Mm.
that shit is, like you once you get over the small hump in the beginning, it's so worth it
Yeah. Oh,
after that.
100%, 100%. I'm sure that's hard because, like, I feel like when I have a child, I'm gonna want to that first week be just, like,
Mhm.
obsessed, like, the child in my space at
Yes,
all
and they
times.
want that too,
Yeah.
and that's what's hard,
Mm,
but they sleep so much during that week specifically, like,
yeah.
you could put them down in their bassinet for 2 hours, she would never even open her eyes when we put her in her bassinet, like
Yeah.
and then we still pick her up, whenever it's time to feed her, and she goes right back to sleep, so it's not
Yeah.
like you really miss a lot of time
Yeah.
snuggling her if that's what you wanna do, there's
Yeah.
tons of time to do that,
Right.
um, but yeah, I'm, like, so shocked at how well everything has gone, and so
Yes.
knock on wood somewhere that nothing starts
Yes.
going
I
badly.
know I genuinely feel like your postpartum experience has been a dream.
Yeah, and thank God because I paid, like, $150 every time I went to physical therapy, like, weeks in
Mhm.
advance.
Mhm.
If you are listening and you, are pregnant or considering it, just go to prenatal physical therapy, it's expensive as fuck,
Mhm.
but I only pushed for, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I knew how to push, took I got up and walked, like, as soon as we got
Yeah.
back to the mother-baby floor, which is I was pretty much still anesthetized when I got up there. I
Yeah.
couldn't feel my left side. As soon as I could feel it, I could walk.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, like, a lot of preparation
Mhm.
goes a long way afterward. Um, my birthing experience in general was way different than I expected because y'all know I'm kind of in my crunchy girl era thanks to
Mhm.
Katie, and I really wanted to try like, if you could have asked me in the beginning of my pregnancy, I wanted a home birth, like, I literally
Mhm.
wanted, like, the tub, the lights,
Yeah.
everything, like, just, like, the midwife, whatever. Well, then I ended up going to a regular OBGYN because I knew that I wouldn't be able to mentally handle having a home birth during my
Yeah.
first pregnancy, like, I just needed to make sure there was a NICU around and, like,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, I go to a hospital where they do have jacuzzi tubs, they do have, like you can't, like, birth in the tub, but you can, like, labor in the tub, and they have, like, a lot of mindful stuff about people who like, a lot of women don't get epidurals there. So that's what I did, but then I eventually had to get induced at 40 weeks and 6 days because I didn't wanna go into my 41st week, that's kinda when the stillbirth rates go up, but
Yeah.
I was like, "You know what? If I get an induction, I'm probably gonna get an epidural, and then I'm probably gonna, it's just gonna be on,
Yeah.
on." I wanna say, thank fucking God for anesthesiologists because whose idea was that? Um, because I got induced, my contractions were I am not like, you can ask Jake who was there. I'm not kidding, they were 30 seconds apart. There was no, "You get
Ugh.
5 minutes, you get 10 minutes." It was, you're breathing through it, you're taking another breath, you're looking at Jake, and you're like, "Here comes another one." Like,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
so fucking crazy, and then the doctor came in, and he was like, "Listen, you can get the epidural, like, it's not gonna make your birth any worse, like, you
Yeah.
can get it, and then we can start meds that can, like, speed it along so that it's not so painful, like,
Mhm.
with the epidural, but I don't wanna give you those meds if you're already having a hard time with the contractions now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, let me think about it." He was like, "I just wanna let you know, though, like, without those meds, I can't guarantee you're gonna have the baby today, like, it could be tomorrow morning." And I was like, "Okay, let me continue to think about it, like, I'm
Yeah.
doing okay for now." And
Yeah.
about an hour later, I was like, "Mm-mm,
Yeah.
no way." The big one started to really come, and she
Yeah.
started to drop,
Yeah.
and when it happened, like, I hit the ground, like, literally, like, I couldn't stand up because of
Oh
the
my
pain,
gosh.
fell on the floor, not hard, I just, like, couldn't hold
Yeah.
myself up, and I was like, I need that epidural." And
Yeah.
they were in my room and out in, like, 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was great. So once I got the epidural, it was, like, 2 hours later, she was out.
No, it was crazy, like, that morning, I think I just sent you a text, like, "Baby day," whatever,
Uh-huh.
and I got a text back from your phone from Jake,
Mhm.
like
I was like, "Can you just please text
yeah,
everyone who's texting?"
yeah, he said, like, "She's battling right now." I was like, "Okay,"
Battle
like
was really the word, like, it was
yeah.
payday in there.
So then that was at, like, I'm gonna say 7 AM, maybe 8 AM. At noon, Ashlyn sends me a text message like she is not at the hospital giving birth, like, just kikiing, like, over
So,
text.
let me tell you what happened. I had not been able to, so they started the meds at 6 p.m. Started contracting overnight. I was able to sleep through them. They were like my normal, like, Braxton Hicks at home. They were not anything crazy. Morning, they gave me another dose of the meds, and then they gave me another dose of the meds at 9 AM, and that's whenever shit, like, really, like, was bad. It started happening, like, kind of bad at 6 AM when I got the other dose,
Yeah.
or I guess it was 5 AM. I was like, "Okay, these are not fun, but I can breathe through them, whatever," and then they got pretty bad. I got in the shower, but again, like, couldn't look at my phone, didn't have time to even, like, take a sip of water between, like,
Mhm.
it was awful. So then she's like, "Do you want me to just try to give you some pain meds, like, through your IV
Mhm.
just to get you through, like, one of these contractions?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." Like, these are so bad. This is after I had just hit the floor. My
Yeah.
nurse saw me do that and was like, "Oh,
Okay.
okay, no."
Okay.
She pushes the pain meds through my IV. I can't even remember what it was at this point. And I was, like, crying tears of joy to, like, have
Oh,
1
Ash.
minute. It was awful. I was like, "Oh my god, thank God." Like, this is just so nice, like, to have a minute of the no pain.
Yeah.
And I look at Jake and I'm like, "I can't keep doing this. I want the epidural." And he's like,
Yeah.
She wants it." You know, because he, like, doesn't wanna see me in pain, but he wanted me to have whatever kind of experience I
Right.
wanted. So as soon as I was ready, he was like, "Okay, great." So I got the epidural and I was like, "Okay, alright." It's just like baby day, like, now what do I do? So Jake, his dad had shown up really early he thought he was gonna miss the birth.
Yeah, aw.
So he went down to see them, and I was like, "Can you get me, like, a smoothie while you're down there?" He came back with a smoothie, and then I took a nap. I took an hour nap, and I woke up and told the nurse, "I'm having pressure." She
Mhm.
goes down and she checks because when I got the epidural, I was 5 centimeters, about to be 5. She was like, "Oh, you're 4.25."
Mhm.
She's like, "You're 9."
Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
it had been an hour and a half. Yeah.
Wow.
So because I got the epidural at 11:30, then she checked me and she was like, "You're 9 and your water bag is, like, bulging through your cervix, it's not broken yet. Do you
Mhm.
want us to break it?" And I was like, "Let's just give me, like, a little bit more time. If it doesn't break on its own, y'all can break it, whatever."
Okay.
So because Jake still wasn't in the room yet.
Gotcha.
So I was like, "Wait till he gets back." So whenever he came back, they came and broke my water, and then, like, 30 minutes later, I was pushing, and
There she
there
was.
she was.
Okay, I have not asked you, how did it go? Like, did Jake tell you it's a girl? Like,
This
I
is
haven't
my
heard
favorite part of
that.
the story.
Okay.
Okay, so to preface, not that this matters, but the doctor that delivered me was not my regular doctor. It was
Mhm.
because it was holiday coverage, but this guy was so sweet. Like, I like him
Aw.
more than my doctor. Like, he was so
Oh.
sweet. I had met him in the clinic before I went in for my induction. So he knew that I didn't know the gender, like, whatever.
Mhm.
He knew that we were so excited about it. So he's delivering her. Obviously, we don't know. And Jake is up by my head. we have this all on camera except for the very last part, which I'm really upset about
Mhm.
because it was the best. So he pulled her out. Obviously, they come out head first. He pulls her out, and we can't see anything. And he takes her and flips her upside down to where her butt is in there and goes, "It's a girl!" Like, has her little butt in the air so that we can see. And it was so fucking cute. It was
Oh,
so
I
sweet. We were like,
love that.
I personally was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I thought I was having a boy
Mhm,
for the
okay.
longest.
Yeah.
Um, and I just, like, felt like it was gonna end up being a boy, and then I was like, "Oh my god, are you surprised?" Jacob was like, "No, that was a 50-50 chance." I was like,
Right.
"No, I swear." I was like, "I don't know."
So, talk about the name because Susannah was really like a last minute,
Oh my
like
god,
like
okay.
literally not before in the hospital,
Yes, okay.
texted me like, "What about Susannah?"
Yeah. So we didn't really have girl names. I had a couple names that I was, like, interested in, but,
Mhm.
like, I wasn't 100% sold on any of them. I think we all talked about this in one of our other episodes. I knew I wanted to name my first child after the Morgan.
Mhm. Yes.
I just love the name Moore, just MOR, obviously,
Yeah.
but, like, just that it is the word more. And then whenever I was in Montgomery on my NICU it was my newborn baby rotation, there was a baby girl, the last name was Moore, Moore, and but we always called him baby girl or baby boy last name, so baby
Mhm.
girl Moore, and I, like, loved it because
Mhm.
it was a much more acceptable version of what I was looking for.
Right. 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 Not acceptable, but
Well, I can't name her MOR, you know?
you could have,
I
but I
mean,
mean,
yeah.
people name their children crazier
Yeah,
things.
that's true. Um, so, yeah, so I knew that I wanted that as a first name for the longest time, and Jake kinda vetoed it because it's already a word, and he
Mhm.
was like, "That's gonna be confusing for the baby," like, whatever. So, I had tabled it as, like, a potential middle name,
Mhm.
which is what we ended up choosing, obviously, and then, first names, I was just kind of at a loss. I liked Sophia, but it's, like, super popular. I liked Amelia, whatever. So then we on my due date, December 22nd, I got my nails done, I did my hair, and we went to get Mexican because I was like, "Let me just, like, do all my, like, normal day stuff and
Yeah.
see if I can get myself going,"
Yeah.
like, you know? And just to preface, I worked up until the day before that. So,
Yeah.
I'd been at work, and I was like, "Let me just have a day, blow out my hair, get my nails done, whatever, go eat."
Mhm.
So we're at this Mexican restaurant, and he's like, "What if it's a girl?" Like, we don't really have a name because we had a boy name that we liked, and we're, like, scrolling through literally, like, the online lists.
Mhm. That's what you
Yeah,
wanna
like, we had
do.
no idea what else to do. So, we're scrolling, and he said, "Susannah." He was like, "I kinda like that." And I was like, it's okay."
Mhm.
But, it's not like like, I still like Sophia better.
Yeah.
Then I sat on it for, like, obviously, a week after
Mhm.
that. I, like, kept thinking about it, and I went to, one of my friend's house, and I just, like, couldn't, like, stop thinking about that name.
Mhm.
So I asked her, I was like, "Do you think Susannah is a weird name?" And she was like, "Stop, I love that."
Mhm.
Like, the funny part is I loved it whenever I heard it on, that show, The
Summer
Summer
I
I
Turned
Turned
Pretty.
Pretty. I loved it, and also that's the best character on there.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
100%.
um, I was like, "Wow, that is hilarious," because I thought about this name when I watched the show last year, but I
Yeah.
never considered it for myself.
Yeah.
So then I didn't even bring it back up to Jake until I brought it back up in front of my friend, and then in the hospital the night before, I was like, "Let's really talk about a girl name because what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what if? I mean, we have 24 hours." And he was like, "Okay." And I was like, "I think I like Susanna." And he was like, "Okay, then we'll consider it." And then she came out and we were like, "What do we do?"
So, was it like she came out and y'all were like, "Susanna's the name," or were y'all still like
No, 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 no. She came out and we were like, "Oh my god, it's a girl." They put her on me, they did the whole thing, and they were like, "Do y'all have a name yet?" We were like, "No." So, but before we left the room, we had the name. Like, I was
Okay.
like, "Do you wanna do Susanna?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then, my family name on my dad's side is Jones, and if I had done Sophia, I wanted to do Jones as the middle name. And I was like, "Do you like that with Jones?" He was like, "What's the other option?" I said, "More." So, that's how her name came about. I would say it was, like, 20 minutes after she was born. It wasn't, like, super long
Okay.
time,
Yeah.
but it definitely wasn't like, "Susannah's out!" You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it was like we had to
But
contemplate.
that's kinda like what you wanted anyway, like, you wanted to see the child before you gave it a name anyway, like, I'm pretty sure you had, like, a couple names in mind, it wasn't like, "If it's a boy, it's this, if it's a girl, it's this," so I feel like it worked out
It did
perfectly.
work out perfectly. It was weird though, because I thought, like, I would see her and it would just, like, come to me.
Yeah.
No, because it's just like a baby. Like, it
Right.
comes out and it's like,
Like, you don't know
even in
her.
the moment, I was like, "Whose baby is this laying on me?" It's such a weird, crazy experience to,
Yeah.
like, have your child laying on you and you're like, "What?"
Mhm.
Because I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time imagining that part.
And I think too, because, like, you didn't know the gender, there's more even more unknown about it, like, you're just calling it, like, the baby the whole time, so it almost was like you have, like, a less of a not connection,
Connection,
but
yeah.
yeah,
No, it's like
kind
there's
of.
an anonymous
Mhm.
factor, anonymity to the baby
Yeah.
that I really appreciated while I was pregnant, but then when she came out, I was like, "Oh, shit. This is a person and it's a girl, and
Yeah.
we have to have a name."
Yeah.
So it was yeah, it was quite a moment.
Well,
But she's here and she's
she
perfect.
is, she really is, I
Thank you
can't
for letting me have my TED Talk on my
no, I
my baby
obviously had some
girl.
questions, like, it's crazy I didn't think to ask you some of that stuff before, like, I can't believe I never asked how it was announced that
I
she was a
know.
girl,
And
like
I've told so many people that I just assumed that everyone who needed to know asked. But, yeah, it was honestly a great experience, and then she has christened the new home,
mhm.
so she's given it her blessing. She's picking out her nursery stuff as we speak.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just gonna be fun. I'm, like, happy to have y'all here and her.
Oh my
It couldn't have
god.
worked out better from a time perspective. Because when
100%.
y'all moved in, she was ready to go out.
Yes. Yes, 100%. No, I'm glad that she got to, like, come, see everything, she got to meet Tiber and
We have to post that on the club story. The pictures
oh.
are so fucking cute. Tabor gave her a little kiss.
Oh, he was fixing her hair,
He
like
was giving her a big kiss.
mhm. He's so good though, but I was just happy that he didn't wake her up because, like, we have all these sliding glass doors and it's just open and he barks at literally everything. Susannah, she's a pro, like,
She
she
don't
just
care. Yep, she'll nap through it.
yep.
So since you've been in the new house, have you had time to, like, actually read books right now, or are you kinda
Um I would say the last few days, the last, like, 3 days, yes, but before so, like, the week we moved in, I knew it was gonna be busy. I hadn't finished Crescent City. The week that we moved in, that, like, Sunday night, I had 100 pages left, and I was like, "Oh, by next weekend, bitch, I literally, like, might read 5 pages at night before I laid my head down." It was, like, so crazy. We closed on Tuesday? That's right. We close on Tuesday. So, of course, Tuesday night, we, like, come here, we're doing stuff. We didn't pick a lot of the, like, builder grade lights or things like that. Like, we bought a bunch of stuff we wanted to switch out. So, like, we were hanging lights and we were putting in, like, faucets
This is one
and
thing about Katie's house that has blown me away is that she was like, "I would rather come in and there be no light." I would l She wants to pick it herself, and when you're
mhm.
in, like, a builder area like this, like, that's not really an option. You have to just kinda
Yes.
bring BYOB, BYO lights
Literally. It's like they had options that were, like, fine, but I was like, "I'm paying a fuck ton of money for this house." Like, I want to love
every single
yeah, this shit
aspect. Yeah, yeah.
that and, like, just this is just an example, but, like, they would install your ceiling fans for you, and it was, like, the ugliest shit that you would see at your grandma's house. They wanted $400 for it, and I was like, I can get this on Amazon for $100, and then my husband can take 20 minutes to install it."
Yeah,
Like
not really worth paying these people to install something that I hate.
and especially because, like, everything you pick goes into your mortgage payment, like, amount.
Oh, so you can just deduct it? Doesn't,
Yes.
like,
Yeah, so
automatically go?
that doesn't,
Oh,
like, add
nice.
into our we're not, like, adding why would I wanna spend we have 4 places that need ceiling fans. Why would I wanna spend what's that math? $1,600? Add that to my mortgage? Why would I do that when I can just
For fugly
yeah,
fans.
for some ugly shit. So, anyway, um, back to what we really digressed there. Back to what I was saying. Tuesday night, we, like, come in, we're installing that stuff. Wednesday night, kind of same thing, like, I wanted to just oh, and we also had a bunch of, like, boxes to unpack.
Of course.
So, and then we had, like, a pod unit delivered that was supposed to be unloaded on Friday of last week,
Mhm.
but we had bad weather, so Hoyt calls the moving people, and he's like, "Hey, is there any way that y'all can come today?" And they're like, "Sure, we'll be there in 1 hour." And so we're like,
Okay,
"Okay,
thank
I
God
guess."
we were ready for
Yeah,
that.
I guess, like, we're moving in 1 hour. So, they come unload all of their stuff. All that to say, at nighttime, when I laid my head down on the pillow, there was no time for reading.
That is the best part about having a newborn. You lay down and it's lights out. Like, you lay down and you close your eyes and you wake up. So restorative.
It is the best feeling, like, you wake up and you're like, "Wow," like, "How long was I out?" Literally. So, did not have much time to read at all. I barely finished Crescent City in time for us to podcast last weekend, which we didn't do.
We did not do that, but we were both done.
Yes.
We just didn't have, like, the hours to come
Yes.
sit and talk for we
Yes.
literally this takes us 4 hours every time.
Yeah, no, like, we can pretend like it's gonna be a quick thing. No, no. So, anyway, I finished Crescent City. I read at the same time I was reading Crescent City, I had started a rom-com, and, because I needed something to read while I fell asleep for, like, Crescent City, when we do the podcast, I have to, like, take notes, and
Yeah, you have to be, like, on it.
yeah, and I don't sleep with my phone by my bed, so I have to read something that I can mindlessly read. So I started a rom-com, finished that. I read a thriller this week, and I feel like I'm, like, back on my reading shit.
Okay, good for
So
you.
I started a new, I think it's fantasy. It's strange.
The dark thing that you're talking about, like, kinda dark, creepy, mysterious?
One Dark Window. Um,
One Dark Window.
it's very
That sounds like a thriller.
I don't know yet. I'm, like, 30 pages in, but
Okay,
it is fantasy. There is magic. But I've never read anything like this before.
okay,
I'll let you know. I think I'm gonna be into it,
okay.
though.
That's good news, at least you're not wasting your time.
Yeah, and I typically don't, like, buy books. I'll normally, like, read the sample because you can tell in the first 5 chapters if you're gonna like it or not, but I went ahead and bought this one. It was only $7 on Kindle, so,
Nice.
um, and also,
Well,
like,
just the fact that it's not free is a good sign.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, the fact that it was published, I feel like is more promising. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to, but I really haven't been on my reading shit. I set my reading goal for 60 books this year instead of 50, and I'm like, I know it's only January. What's today's date? The 19th. I'm barely hitting my goal so far.
Yeah, but you'll have so many months that you blow past it that it's not gonna
Totally,
be a big deal. Yeah, I think
totally.
I set mine for 50 last year and I hit, like, 30.
You were doing really good at the beginning of the year
At
last
the
year.
beginning of the year last year, I had nothing to do. Where did I live? I lived somewhere weird, Nashville
Montgomery?
for in January, I lived in Nashville.
You
No,
lived in,
in January, I lived in Montgomery. In December, I lived in Nashville.
you lived in
I lived in
Florida.
Tampa
Yeah.
and, like, I was alone, like, all I was doing was reading, so the end of that year made me think, "Wow, I'm
Mhm.
gonna have so much time."
100%. But then residency plus pregnancy, just kind of took over a little bit, but that's okay, like,
I am already, on, like, 150 pages of Crescent City 2.
okay.
That is because I learned I need my book on my phone so that I can actually read it. Because at night, I can't, like if I wake up just to, like, feed her or pump, like, I don't want
Mhm.
the overhead light on a huge book, like, these
Yeah.
books are gigantic.
Yeah.
And Crescent City 2, I got it when it first came out, so I have the hardback, like,
Yeah.
come on, that sucks.
Yeah.
So, I've just been reading it on my phone.
Okay.
Made it a lot easier.
Yeah, well, you're doing great. Can you believe that the club is almost a year old? Like, I'm pretty sure
What?
it's
No,
cons
I thought we didn't get mine till July.
no, it was March. March was our launch,
What?
and I'm pretty sure the concept was, like, around this time. It was, like, January 10th or something that we started talking about it.
That's right, because last year in December is when you started reading ACOTAR,
That's right.
and we started going ham on Snapchat, like, we were monsters
Yeah.
on Snapchat, and then I was like, "Listen, if we're gonna do this, we might as well just, like, do it for the girlies, like, do it for
Yeah.
everybody."
Yeah, do it publicly.
Who doesn't wanna hear us wax poetic in a very deranged way?
100%. I have to tell you, so Allie read ACOTAR. She said that the minute she shuts the book, she goes and turns on our episodes to hear what we had to say.
Allie, we love you. We
Yeah,
love you so
yeah,
much.
we do.
She's, like, our biggest contributor to the podcast. She's
No,
always
literally.
responding to our always sending us DMs, always responding to our stories.
Posting us on her story, like, listening to the club.
Our queen.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
love
deserve you.
you. We love you, Allie. But yeah, hopefully others are feeling the same way. I will say I'm very excited to read what's the new Crescent City Flame and
Flame and Shadow.
okay. I'm ready to read that because, like, we haven't read it yet, so we only have one more reread until we're doing, like, something fresh, something new, but then, like, we gotta figure out what the fuck we're gonna read after that.
That can be what you do because you're like you have your finger on the pulse of fantasy right now. I am simply just doing what I do best, which is rereading the same shit that I know I like.
And
So,
yeah, there's nothing wrong
and
with
I'm
that.
so excited for the 30th. That's the whole reason why I went ahead and started the second one because I was like, if I could just obviously I have it pre-ordered.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I have to go pick it up from the bookstore on the 30th. I'm not just gonna not start it that day. So I
100%.
only have 11 days.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I know I kind of have regrets now about the fact that we didn't make it the February episode, but I think it'll be good.
It'll be perfect timing for like us
Yeah.
to have a second to read it and like digest what's going
100%.
to happen.
Especially because, like, it will be new. You know that bitch is gonna be thick, and the episode will probably be 3 hours long,
Yeah,
but
so you'll buckle in.
yeah. Can you say how long this episode is? I
No,
think we're
probably way too long.
40
Okay,
something, so okay, we did good.
we did great. We were wanting to say under an hour for the wrap
Mhm.
up. We're crushing it.
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and move on to our next episode? We can wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think
You want to
so.
wrap up the wrap up?
Sure. Bye. No, I'm joking.
Nothing to add. Okay. Well, thanks so much, guys. We will be recording the Crescent City one right now.
Yeah.
Go listen to that next.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you there.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.